Have you lost your happiness? Has your funny walked out the door? Are you feeling depressed, sad, anger, frustration, overwhelmment, anxiousness? If you're experiencing all of that, please stick with me because I completely understand, as I've been there too many times to count. So I want to share with you today exactly where that's coming from and what you can do to help relieve those symptoms and get your happiness back. But first, if you're new to the channel or haven't done so already, please subscribe, click the bell to get notified when new videos are released each Wednesday. And if you want to connect with me further, you can do so at Facebook, In Spite of Fibromyalgia Support Group. It's closed, private, full of positive support and information. If you're feeling moody, if you've lost your happy or your funny and you're not sure how to get it back, leave me a comment below with "I can relate!" exclamation mark. Because man, there's so many of us that experience this every day. It is almost a daily discussion in the support group. So today I want to finally reveal it and share with you what we can do to feel better. First, let's look at a few places of where it can be stemming from. Number one, I would love for you to check into your atlas bone, which is your C1. It holds your head onto your spine. And when that goes out of alignment, you're going to experience some pretty nasty symptoms like mood swings and anxiety. Next, when that atlas goes out, it starts to press on a major nerve called the vagus nerve. It's the 10th cranial nerve, starts at the base of the neck on the right and the left, and it moves all the way down the body, wrapping around several organs. When that is inflamed, major anxiety can be produced. Third, let's look into the gut, because the gut is what produces 95% of serotonin, and that's your happy chemical. And when fungus like Candida and other bacteria overgrow in the intestines, it stops the reproduction of your serotonin. Voila! Therefore, producing in the sadness, the depression, the overwhelming feeling of anxiety, fear, and panic. So when that gets affected, then we look into the adrenal glands, which affect your fight or flight and produce a chemical called cortisol. And when cortisol is low, we start to experience mood swings, the lows and the highs, and the anxiety. So here's a few things that you can do to help combat these symptoms and help relieve them altogether and keep them at bay. The very first thing that I learned from my chiropractor is that atlas. And once he adjusted that for the first time, oh my gosh, sweet relief. I could relax, I could sleep, I wasn't anxious, I wasn't cold, sweaty, and clammy, and I wasn't feeling the need to run away. So I would definitely look into a qualified chiropractor that understands fibromyalgia and the inflammation that comes with it, as well as all the other symptoms, and one that understands nutrition and does other therapies to help those other symptoms. The next thing I would look into is stimulating your vagus nerve. There are many ways to do that, and I did do a video on how to stimulate it, so make sure you check into that. But stimulating that vagus nerve several times a day will help keep those anxious, yucky feelings at bay. But once you get that atlas adjusted and it starts to stay in place, those symptoms will go away. Next, I want you to look into taking a prebiotic or a probiotic. I love N8 probiotics, It's a 50-14, which means it's a 50 billion per 14 strains. I'll leave the link in the description below. As well as a prebiotic. I love bovine colostrum LD by Sovereign Laboratories. I'll leave the link in the description below as well. Once you start to combat that overgrowth of fungus in the gut and start producing a healthy microbiome of bacteria in there, your serotonin levels will increase, therefore bringing your happiness back and that feel-good love. To support your adrenals, what I do every day is eat protein every few hours, drink lots and lots of water, and I also take adaptogenic herbs. Please make sure you do your research on those. It's very important that you understand if you add anything to your regimen, how it's going to interact with other things in that regimen. So please make sure you check those out. My favorite adaptogenic herbs are ashwagandha and astragalus. Those both help with anxiety, sleep, mood swings. It also helps greatly with your immune system. So yoga, meditation, definitely deep breathing, those all help with the nervous system, keeping you happy, but we also need to get to the medical side of it and take care of what's going on in the gut. If you enjoyed this content today, please make sure you give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends and your family, join me on Facebook, and definitely make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when new videos are released in the series. And I also have other videos to check out that give you further explanation of the things that I talked about today. And I'll see you next time.